Hey guys, I'm Ashley Horsfall and I write for Getting Through Tough Times on Healthy Place. Today I wanted to talk to you about a technique I learned called reframing. I learned about reframing a few years ago when I was seeing a therapist for anxiety, and most of my anxiety is related to social situations, but definitely I can see reframing used in a number of ways. I use it when I'm about to go on a trip or when I'm feeling anxious about, planning out my schedule and seeing some new things on there that I'm not necessarily looking forward to. But the technique that I've found most useful in turning anxiety into excitement has been reframing. And that's basically exactly what it does, is it forces you to look at your anxiety and use different language to describe it so that you start to perceive anxiety as something else. I like to use excitement because it's a positive feeling, and it makes you feel like this inevitable thing that's going to happen anyway is going to be a good thing, or at least have some positive repercussions in your life. So, for instance, I always get nervous before I get on an airplane. And it's not necessarily the airplane part that makes me nervous. It's all the logistical things that go into getting on the plane. So like going through security, dealing with the lines, obviously dealing with other travelers, the amount of time that I'm going to be on the plane. All of these things come into play and can be really the central factors making me feel nervous, even if that sounds ridiculous. So what I try to do is use language in my head and out loud to make all these things seem positive or exciting, so that I'm excited to go on this trip, not afraid, anxious, tense, any of those things. So I might say something like, well, I'm so excited to get through security so that I can go get myself a cup of coffee. I try to look beyond the immediate and think of the bigger benefit. And I also try to use other situations like other travelers. Because it is a social type of situation, it makes me anxious to think of, well, who am I going to sit next to? Are they going to try to talk to me? Things like that. And I try to reframe it as, maybe I will meet somebody interesting on the plane. So I try to turn it into a guessing game of, oh, is it going to be that person sitting next to me, or is it going to be this person? I wonder what they do for a living. I wonder where they're going. I just try to use language differently in my head so that I'm not feeling tense or like it's not going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy of me thinking everything is going to be terrible, and so it is. And I just try to rewrite the story in my head before I go through it. Because it's so easy to come up with negative language to describe things that we don't want to go through or that we're scared of. So learning how to have this different outlook on things that haven't happened yet, that could happen, has just been invaluable to me, because I've learned that it's not a good idea to approach things with this level of stress. It just doesn't help anything. And as anxious as I have been and can be, I always try to go to reframing as one of my first steps for gaining some semblance of control. We can't control everything around us, but we can control some of the ways we approach them. So that's definitely my main tool for working with anxiety. Rather than trying to fight against it, I try to convert it into something else. So I want to know what kind of techniques you guys use to power through anxiety, to transform it, reframe it, anything like that. So make sure to let me know in the comments. Thanks.